everybody. This is Joe DeRamo for the More Than 2 Minute Drill put out by Myiti Pinnacle Network. This is our continuing series of handing out our Networking Ninja Awards. Today's award we're going to hand off to Dominic who's in our Needham Myiti Pinnacle Network group. And Dominic is the winner of the Most Altruistic award, which goes to the networker in our system who is the most giving of his time and other efforts. So, Dominic, on behalf of everybody, I'm just going to hand this over to you now. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Joe. I just got it there.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. Very nicely sculpted piece of glass, but yeah, thank you. And thank you to my peers as well, who presumably voted. So thank you for this. It's great.
Yes, it's amazing what you can do on Zoom. I didn't think you could pass things through to another, but
well, technology is these days is moving at a breakneck speed, Joe. Only the best high tech.
It's been fantastic. So before we get going, I'd like to give you a chance to introduce yourself, and our listeners might be able to tell Dominic is not really from here originally. I believe he's from Brooklyn, but anyway. He's not from Brooklyn, but I'll let him tell his story. Dominic, a little bit about yourself, your business,
Sure.
And to start off?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, he came from somewhere else, right? And I did come from somewhere else, but not Brooklyn. But my name's Dominic Grew, and I'm the founder and owner of Elevate Business Coach. And what my business really does is it works with executives, leaders, and individuals to help them accomplish their goals faster than they would if they were trying to do it on their own. And I love what I do. I've had a long track record of business improvement, mostly in financial services and professional services. I live in Sharon, Mass, and yep, I am a member of Myiti Pinnacle Network in the Needham group.
Great. And a big part of the networking award is, how you network, how you go about it. And do you have a particular strategy when you network, or is there do you enter a one-on-one or a meeting with a goal in mind? And if you could just share any secrets that you're willing to share, I guess.
The secrets, I love that people think we all hold the secrets, but to be honest, I really think it's about focus. I don't think there are many secrets there. We have so much information that's accessible to us. But for me personally, and as a coach as well, there's really kind of three things that I'm thinking about when it comes to networking, and the first is around motive. When I'm going to be meeting with somebody, I'm really thinking about what's my motive for the meeting? Why do I want to meet with this person, right? Is it because I want to get referrals from them? It might be because I want to understand what they do. One of the things that I find is most often what I've learned is, as I'm talking with people, it's not about referrals for me per se, but it's really about, wow, they do something that's really interesting that I don't do and that I could bring to my clients. So that is it's something that's changed in my perspective as I've networked more. It's become less of, how can they refer clients to me, to more of, hey, let's really understand, what they do first of all, and then think about how that's helpful to my clients. So that's number one, is kind of, I think about the motive. What's the purpose of the meeting? The other thing that I do is preparation. I will seldom go into a one-to-one meeting with somebody without being prepared. I've fully checked them out beforehand, just so I can be effective and useful with their time, right? Because a meeting is one where you can jump in and you're not starting at zero. I've already done all my homework on them. And part of that preparation, Joe, also involves thinking about, what is it that they want or need. Now, I'm going to ask them that in the meeting, but I've also given some thought to that as well beforehand, and then I'll check my assumptions with them. So first of all, it's motive. Number two is preparation. And then the third thing that I do is, it's kind of like a test of a successful meeting, is I should be able to repeat back to them what they do, the problems that they solve, and the value that they provide. because that's an indicator that it's been a good meeting. If I've come away and I can answer those three things, what do they do? What's the problem they solve and the value that they provide? And likewise, vice versa. So that's kind of like a performance metric that I have in my mind.
Do you actually do that after the meeting ends, or while you're at the end of the meeting, say, okay, so you do that? Do you actually do that?
I do. Again, assuming it's not awkward. Sometimes it's really obvious what somebody does, right? But sometimes, particularly when I'm networking with people that I would classify them as business advisors, they probably have a niche, and it takes a little bit of a process to understand exactly what that is. And so I want to check as well, that I've understood it. So I might say something like, "Hey, Joe, look, it's been really good talking with you today. I can see, how what you do is really valuable to people and how you do it differently." So just to recap, I think of you as this, you do this, and that's really useful to have because people struggle with that. So it's really just kind of like a summary at the end of the meeting with somebody.
Definitely. So the definition of your award is altruism. When you think altruism, everybody thinks, okay, you're giving away or you're doing something. And
yeah,
in your line of work as a business coach, there's probably a fine line between, giving away your knowledge and
sure,
get really, free advice versus helping. What's kind of the difference?
Yeah, this is a really interesting question because, folks that are in, where their job involves giving the advice, they always walk that fine line. Like, how much do I help you? And then, at what point does it switch over to, look, I've got to charge you for this. This is what I do.
Right.
But when I think, for me personally, when I think about altruism, it kind of goes back to what I do. I mentioned earlier that my job is coaching individuals, business leaders to accomplish their goals quicker. And that's really what I do. When I think about when I'm, my career choice and how I work with others, it's really all about helping others identify what it is that they like to do and ensuring that they're doing what they like to do, because therefore they're going to be good at it, and also helping understand why they're doing it. So that's kind of what I view my role as a business coach, getting people aligned with those three things together so that it becomes easy. I don't know about you, Joe, but there's probably times in your career where you can say, hey, I was just firing on all cylinders. I love what I did. I knew that I was good at it, and I knew why I was doing it. So I was like filled with purpose. And so there's probably other times as well where you kind of get away from some of that and it becomes difficult. Everything becomes troublesome. And that's really my role. It's trying to get that in alignment. So I just do the best I can when I meet with people. I'm going to try to help them. I can afford 20 minutes out of my time to help them. And I really encourage people when I meet with them to say, hey, if you ever have a challenge, something you just want to run by and get an opinion on, I'm happy. So I guess in doing that, I open the door to those conversations, but I also try to put a limit on it as well, in terms of, hey, we can take 20 minutes and talk about whatever's, on your mind. Does that make sense?
We might have just saved one from one right now. We were in our previous discussion, we were talking about the pandemic and how that's changed things. And I would imagine as somebody who does a lot of networking, it's had quite an impact on how you approach that. What have you done differently, and what have you used the time during the pandemic for?
Great question. Just one other thing before I answer that is about networking. One of the things that I always try to do is to take the stress out of a conversation. Networking can be really stressful for folks. For many, it doesn't come naturally. And I actually work a lot with clients, helping them become better at that. And actually, I have a tip sheet. If you're interested, people see this, reach out to me, and I'm happy to share that with you. But one of the things I always try to do is take the pressure off a conversation. So, hey, we're just going to talk, right? I'm not expecting you to do business with me, give me your list of clients or anything like. We're just going to have a talk. The thing about the pandemic is that this whole thing is an opportunity for everybody to rethink what the heck it is that they're doing. Their work, everything is open, is up for rethinking. And so during this time, what I've really been doing is having the conversation around that. Tell me, Joe, like, with what's going on now, like, what's in your head? What do you think? And having it more as a conversation that everybody can relate to, right? Because we're all living this thing together. The conversations are different. Sometimes I get great market intel. Sometimes it could be an opportunity for me to educate them on some of the stuff that I do. But having it as more of a conversational thing. One thing that I've taken this time to do is to rethink parts of my business. I set up a new website and a new branding. So I'm now Elevate Business Coaching. I'm still attached to Focal Point, which is a great organization, but in terms of my branding, it's Elevate Business Coaching. So one of the things that I was able to do was, in these conversations that I was having with folks in my network, is just say, well, I'm using this time to kind of update my website, my messaging. Would you be open to have a conversation with that? I'd love to show it to you. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. And what that did was it engaged them in understanding what it is that I do and how I help my clients. But I also got some really excellent feedback as well. So it was kind of a win-win. And they also felt that they were helping me, which they actually were. Right. So different types of conversations during these times, which are uncertain, but definitely now is the time to be having those conversations. It's just sometimes talking with people in a different way about a common challenge that we're all living through.
Yeah, and kind of in wrapping up, you're now the reigning most altruistic networking Ninja Award winner. So how do you intend to? There you go. How do you intend to defend your title for next year? What's the next year going to look like, especially under these conditions, which don't seem to be going away anytime soon?
Yeah, well, first of all, much as this means so much to me, I want to be able to pass this award to someone else. So I will be
great
thrilled.
Answer.
I will be thrilled to lose it. But again, coming back to what I do and why I do it, I help people, and I help them when they're stuck. And one of the things that can unstick people a little bit is having more conversations, and with people who sometimes can help them in ways that they've never thought about. That's been my experience. So I'm not going to defend the title, but I just love helping people become better networkers, and I've seen the difference that can make. So I love helping people. And again, if anybody is interested, I have that tip sheet that I can share. But to me, it's really about helping us all become better at it, because there's such collective knowledge that we all have in our own businesses that we can share with others. And actually, the more that I can understand what people do and how they help others, the more I can make others aware that have those problems and really put them together.
So now that you talked about your new website, what's the domain name for that people can look you up on? And
yeah, it's elevatebusinesscoaching.com.
And is the tip sheet on that they could download it, or is there some way we could link it?
No, I haven't put it on there, but if there's a contact us form, if they just shoot me an email there, I'm happy. There are other free links as well. There's some free books that they can download. I think I have like six items or so that I kind of rotate around. But check it out. There's lots of resources there, and the tip sheet, you can go on to the info section there and just request it there.
Okay. Well, great. Well, Dominic, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, and congratulations once again on being a networking ninja. I'd say you're a most worthy winner, and just thanks again for your role in My Pinnacle Network. I know you've done some presentations for us with another coach, and that's benefited other members. Just another example of why you are indeed the most altruistic. So thanks again.
Thank you, Joe. And again, thanks to all those in the organization, that put me forward for this. And I've really enjoyed being part of the organization and helping others. And they in turn have helped me. So thank you.
You're welcome. This has been the More Than 2 Minute Drill with Joe DeRamo. We'll be back soon with yet another networking ninja. And take care. We'll see you down the road.